Hey guys, Iceman here. So, today I'm going to read in Romans, alright? I guess for those of you who are interested, it's kind of been on my mind a little bit. Well, a lot of things have been in my mind. But one of which is, well, for one, where's God? Why do I call out and receive no answer? Why can't I see God? You know what I mean? Why can't I hear God? Or anything? Is that weird? So in the past, I think I had some encounters with God. Okay. I remember when I was like 17 years old, the summer before my 18th birthday, I felt like I had an encounter with God. Do I have to be honest with you guys? Because I guess I will. That summer, I was smoking pot a little bit, all right? Mm-hmm. A little bit of the green. It's when I started doing that. It's also when I stopped. The whole thing lasted like a month and a half. Shh, the dog was going off. Right, I had about a month and a half of where I was smoking the green with my buddies. And I don't really know what drew me to do it. In fact, I think I was just really contemplating concept of life and all that, and what is this thing? Is this worth it? So I started smoking some green and working a job and just chilling with my boys. But I do remember a time, well, I was kind of depressed actually. I was like, is this all there is to life? You work, you sleep, you eat, you have all the toils with your body, day in and day out, the dirtiness of your body, the decay. You try to seek some pleasure and joy, but you're paying in a lot of pain. Right? It's kind of the stuff that was going through my mind. I was 17 years old. I didn't have that much of a job going on. I was mowing lawns or something. So then, I remember, but during this phase, right, I was smoking pot a little bit. Not like all day, but just like in the afternoon sometime when I didn't have to work. The evening, buddies come over. I mean, I smoked it and just kind of felt chill. Laughed a little bit, laughed a lot actually. Then I come down, and it was like, that's it. I guess we'll do it again tomorrow. And yeah, again, I don't. This whole thing only lasted a month and a half when I was 17 years old, smoking it. And after that, I mean, I've tried it a few times in my life, but now it just makes me paranoid. So I don't really do it anymore for whatever reason. It didn't make me paranoid back then. But so there was this little episode, right, where I go up to the window. I was living in my parents' house. This nice little street outside the window. There's little trees and grass and all that. And I wasn't smoking yet that day, all right? I just looked out there and I said, God, if you're here, show me. Right? That's what I said. Because I was like, I don't really know if you are. In fact, I'm starting to think you're not. So this stuff was all going through my mind. And looking out this window. And then I just went on with my day. Now, I can't quite remember if this was later that day. Or was this a couple days later? I don't really know. But my buddies and I, that late afternoon, were chilling in the car. And they had some green again. All right. Started smoking it. And felt okay. It was normal for everybody. But I just like started. We were in some big parking lot, right, of some business or something, some manufacturer. But it was on like a Saturday, I think. And it was like some empty parking lot way at the end. There was like trees and grass and all that. It's kind of a secluded spot. So I get out of the car. I'm like, okay. I'm going to get out of the car. And I must have been feeling a little... just that sort of sensation again of... is this all there is to life? Is this it? So I get out of the car. And I remember kind of walking out in the parking lot. And looked up in the sky. I just remember the brightness, right? I know this sounds trippy. And y'all can judge me if you want. Not that I have to tell you that. But it's all like this brightness. I was like, wow. It scared me a little bit. It was really bright. And I was like, I was looking up at there. I was like, God? Now, I don't remember the details as much right now of what happened at that moment. I remember some of the other details. I'll get them to just a minute. But I remember this sort of like sensation came about me. I've never felt before. And it like filled me up. It's like I was thriving or something with it. This energy. And I remember I crashed down to the ground on my knees. I was shocked. I was like, what's going on here? And I said, I was on my knees, right? This is the summertime. Beautiful weather. Well, it was a bit cloudy or something, except for that. I feel like it was like an opening of the sky I was seeing, right? And I said, I was on my knees. I was like, God? And there's like this lightning. That's what it felt like. It felt like lightning just striking through my body. Okay? And I was like, oh, oh. I was like, what? It took my breath away. I was like, what? And then I just feel like this brightness was like overcoming me. You know, like looking in the sky. It's overcoming me. I was like, but it wasn't blinding. It was this sort of, I mean, it was like this radiant light or something, all right? But I'm standing there on my knees and I'm shaking. I'm like, what? And I look up and I say, God? And it's just, boom, like, woo, just radiating, you know, just shaking me. It was like trembling. And I couldn't believe it. Because I continue to doubt her. I was like, no. I was like, no, I don't believe it. I was like, what's going on here? I was like kind of saying this stuff to myself. I was like, what? I was like, no. I was like, what? I was like, and then I'd be concerned about saying it again. But I'd say it again. And every time it was manifesting. It was like lightning. I said, God, and boom. And it like took my breath away. And I was like, oh. I was like, okay. I was like, okay. I was like, okay. And I was just like shaking my head in disbelief. I was like, what is going on? I was like, no way. And I remember these tears just started pouring down my eyes. Like pouring down my eyes. Like I couldn't believe it. And I still couldn't believe it. And it was shaking me. And I'm like, this has got to be my mind. I was like, and I'm saying all this stuff like this. I was like, no way, it's got to be. I was like, you know, scared to say it again. And it's like, really? But then I said it again. So I was like, I can't believe this. I was like, and I said, God. And it just, like, and it was so much. I was like, okay. Like, it's like I didn't want any more. You know? It was just so, I mean, it wasn't painful. It was like I said, it was like lightning. And And it was so lifting, like, internally. Like, it felt like I felt like it was gonna kill me. I felt like I couldn't take much more. Of like feeling this presence or something. Or being filled with this or something. It must have been feeling the presence. So I said, okay, wait. I was like, God, though, is what I'm thinking. I didn't say it. I wasn't going to say it again. I guess I was a little scared. But I was more awestruck. I'm still on my knees, right? And I'm like, looking up in the sky. Oh, and then just tears running down my face. Because I wanted to think that there was God, right? Like in the past. I wanted to think we had God. And we're not just like bouncing around and going to fade into oblivion. You know what I mean? I wanted to think that there's purpose and meaning and some sort of eternalness going on here and some sort of everlasting love or something. Or somebody to be there, someone to be there for me when I'm failing, when I can't get through something. Help, But then I was like, okay. I was like, wait, this isn't so. I was like, God, I'm thinking. I didn't dare say it again. But I was like, okay. In my mind, I was kind of like, what God? Because I'm like, okay, if there's God out there, how do I know? Who, what? I was freaking shocked. So I knew it. I knew what to ask. Because I wanted to know. And I said, Jesus. Right? And when I said Jesus, it was boom. Like just coming down the same thing. Go ahead, doggy. I'm going to pause the video real quick. I'll be right back. All right, so back again. So I said Jesus. And the same thing. And it took my breath away. And I was like, and I was like, okay. I was just saying, okay, like that's enough. But I tested it again and again. And I fell down on like my hands and knees. And I was just like, okay, I couldn't take it anymore. And I felt that radiant light, you could like feel it within and out and above and high. But the Jesus thing was very significant. And in that moment, I was pretty convinced. I was convinced to the point where I was done asking. Because I felt like I couldn't take it anymore. It was such an overwhelming sensation. Like I said, I felt like I was going to die or something. Not of pain. I felt like it was the presence of God. But so I felt like I had the confirmation of Jesus and God. And I felt like my prayer was answered. But Anyway, I'm just on the ground, my hands and knees, just tears just poured out of my eyes. I just couldn't believe it. And I was like, okay. I was like, it's enough. It's like, that's enough. I mean, I tested it again and again, and I felt like I was getting struck by lightning. Only it wasn't painful, but yeah, like I said, it was some sort of manifesting energy or something. I don't know, but so I get up, and I walk back to the car, and I am just like awestruck or something. And my friends are in there. I can't remember what they really said. They're like, "What are you doing out there?" And we started driving back, and I just felt like I was on cloud 9 or something. Is that what the saying is? My world was changed. It was like I was looking through new eyes. It was like I was seeing a new world. I was like, and I was thinking to myself, you gotta be kidding me. You know? And I'm like looking at everybody, I'm like, they have no idea, do they? I'm thinking like, oh my God. This is at the time. I was like, God is real. I was like, God is here. Jesus is here. I was like, this stuff is, it was such a shocking thing to me. And I've lost a lot of faith since then. All right. So it's hard for me to say this now genuinely. I lost a lot of faith because of my pains and agonies and lack of healing. Things like that, all of which probably aren't good reasons to lose your faith, but I wonder where God is now. But I'm just trying to tell you the story, all right? But that, and I can't really verbalize it authentically enough, but that's, at the time, what was going through my mind is I was looking around everybody, and I was just like, they have no idea what's in store, do they? And I felt like it was a great thing. I felt like, I felt like it was a loving God. You know? I mean, I didn't do anything to deserve that. I just asked if God was there to reveal himself. That's all I did. But I remember like going to some gas station then, and I was walking around like a new body. Like everything was just effortless. I felt like some limitless energy, right? I know some guys, I mean, I don't think that stuff was laced with anything. Like my buddies were all acting normal, okay? They were all acting normal. They're like, let's go home. They're like, nothing going on here. You know, they were acting like it was just another dose of the same old green, all right? But I know, it's kind of a way out of the whole thing, right? Maybe it was just the green. But they're all acting no big deal. Just another day smoking the green. So yeah, I don't know if you could say it was late summer or whatever, but nonetheless, I mean, I remember going to the gas station and they were like buying like drinks or something, and I just go walking in the corner of the gas station, I just look up, just thinking about what just happened, and these tears just pouring out of my eyes. And it was like the most tears I've ever felt. I didn't even know it was possible to have so many tears coming out of my eyes, just crying and crying and crying, just of joy. I was like, oh, thank you. And I was just saying thank you. I was like, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was crying. I was like, thank you, God. And I was just so, I was so amazed and astonished. And I remember, as crazy as it is, I almost wanted to jump out of the freaking car and go on the road. I mean, I felt like I was invincible at that point, which I guess is another argument for what kind of drugs were you taking, right? But, I mean, it was just the green. I just smoked a little bit of the green. I had 3 or 4 others with me, and they all acted normal. I was doing the same thing for, a month. But, yeah, I don't know, kind of changed my life for a little while there. But then I kind of just faded back into, you know, existence and just the mundane and all that. And it started to be more distant to me. But I'm just saying, man, that's what happened. And, I mean, yeah, I thought, I mean, if you could see me at the time, and if I were to talk to you at the time, which I talked to a lot of people, I think you'd be pretty impressed with how much I believed, you know? But anyway, I mean, I guess that's it. I wasn't really going to make my video on this, but I was going to read something, in fact. But I guess I'll just keep it at this for now. But let me know in the comments. Give testimony. I guess you could say that that was kind of like mine. Right? That's 20 years ago now. But I guess you could say that that was kind of like mine. And it shook my world. And I couldn't ask anymore. It's like God was willing to prove it to me to whatever extent I was willing to hear, you know? Just that filling and electric sensation that just took my breath away. And I remember just gasping, okay. Like I was like, okay, that's enough. That's enough. I was just thinking, I was like, that's it, okay, yeah, I gotta be convinced now, right? Well, then I do it again. Jesus, and boom, you know. But yeah, I'm curious what you guys have to say about that in the comments below, alright? And I'll talk to you in my next video. Peace be with you.